Hi, my name is Akash. I'm currently a rising sophomore at UCF majoring in mechanical engineering, and today I'm going to be talking about four key concepts in the book that I thought were the most interesting and that stuck out to me. So, the first concept I'm going to be talking about is nonverbal communication, which comes from chapter 5. And nonverbal communication is any type of communication that consists of all the messages we send in ways that transcend spoken or written words. So, examples of non-verbal communication could be gestures like pointing or raising your hand signs. They could be things such as eye contact or body posture. So, those are all forms of nonverbal communication. And the second concept is coming from chapter 6 is listening styles. So, there are four types of listeners that can be identified. There are content-oriented listeners that focus on and evaluate the facts and evidence, and people-oriented listeners that focus on feelings, and there's action-oriented listeners that focus on the ultimate point the speaker is trying to make, and there are time-oriented listeners that prefer brief and hurried conversations and use nonverbal cues to signal that their partner needs to be more concise. And those are the book's definitions of what those are. And personally, for me, I would say that my listening styles change depending on the situation. So, for example, if I was in a lecture or maybe a meeting of some sort where I need to take in information, I would be more content oriented. And if I was talking to my friends or my family members, I would probably be more people oriented, listening to the feelings that they're trying to convey. And for an action oriented listener, I would probably be more action oriented in a debate with someone because I'm trying to understand the point they're trying to make. And I wouldn't say that I'm a time oriented listener most of the time. So, and then the next concept I'm going to be talking about is coming from chapter 14, which is oral style. And oral style is basically how one speaks or conveys the message that they're trying to send to their audience. And there are many different types of oral styles. Many people have different types of oral styles when it comes to presenting or communicating with others. Some people talk really fast, as I'm doing now. Some people use filler words. Some people speak loudly. Some people speak softly. Some people are more direct. Some people are less direct. For example, I would say my oral style also, like my listening style, changes depending on the situation. For example, if I'm talking to my friends or my family, I'm probably a lot less formal and more casual. Whereas if I'm presenting for like a group project in a more formal situation, or if I'm maybe in a job interview, my oral style would be a lot more formal. And the last concept I'm going to go over is rehearsal, which is basically practicing your speech out loud to yourself. And there are a lot of situations where rehearsal can be really helpful, such as this presentation that I'm doing right here, or maybe a job interview where you need to practice out the answers, any type of presentation that you have to do, and maybe even in situations like teaching where teachers may have to rehearse some sort of lesson plan that they give out to a class. And rehearsing can be really helpful because it gives you time to revise, evaluate, and basically go over all the details of your speech. And those are the four concepts that stood out to me. Thank you for listening.